Doors closing. Please stand clear.
For many people with migrant heritage who live in Australia, the relationship between their culture and identity can be confusing, inspiring, isolating, and exhilarating. No one knows this better than filmmaker and director Daisy Montalvo, who was born to El Salvadorian immigrants and grew up in Sydney's western suburbs.
I've always felt misrepresented in media. There's never really been a lot of Latinos or Western Sydney on Australian TV. I've always been really passionate about telling my culture and through the stories that I tell.
I really wish we didn't have to celebrate Anna's birthday without you.
Daisy's passion for filmmaking and telling her own stories extends across many of her works. Last year, she directed and co-wrote Las Rosas, Australia's first telenovela and a nod to her Latin American roots. Set in Daisy's home suburb of Mount Druitt, many aspects of the sisters' lives translate to her own.
It was sort of based around me, my sister and my mum's story, in the sense that like when I was celebrating my quince, and my sister's always been she was like a huge part of my quince in terms of planning and everything with my mum. I didn't really care about it. I was just going along with the flow for it. So Las Rosas kind of came out of that, but also the fact that I wanted to tell the story of growing up in Western Sydney and being two Latinas trying to organise a big party like a quince in Mount Druitt.
Her most recent film, El Baile, which translates to The Dance, is a cinematic poem based on her cousin's experience of coming to Australia and her shifting personal identity.
It's about the importance of being kind to each other and making sure that we are encouraging each other to be the most authentic, true self that we are. So it's sort of like a dance poem. It's about my cousin's experience coming to Australia, and she does a couple of different dance styles that she's very passionate about that are close to her culture. I really wanted to tell a story since I knew her before she came to Australia, and coming here as well, I thought it would be a really beautiful story to share.
Those who work with Daisy on Las Rosas also understand the importance of Daisy's work, and more broadly the importance of diversity in Australian film and TV.
Coming from an El Salvadoran background, this Las Rosas project was important to me because of the representation and like the family values that Latinos experience, and I thought that Daisy's story really captured that in a fun, interesting telenovela way.
She's just very fun to be around with on set, and she's just very happy, and even when she's stressed she's still pretty calm and collected. So she's a great energy to be around with on set.
One of the reasons Daisy is committed to portraying her own experiences through film is that she, along with many others, have noticed a lack of diverse characters on our TVs, and she'd love nothing more than to fix this.
When you're coming to a new country where you feel, there's a completely new language, there's a completely new way of living, you tend to feel very isolated, and it really helps having someone, having people hear your story and share your experiences with other people, and I think it really makes us more of an inclusive country doing that. If there's stories around them that relate to them, then they can feel more